Here's problem 6. Gives us this nice shape over here. It tells us BCD, B to C to D. This triangle right here is similar to this triangle FD to that one right there. So it just has this extra shape in here. That really doesn't have any bearing on our problem right in here. We're not even going to need that. We're just looking at this triangle being similar to this guy. Now, right away I'm going to say, hey, this angle B is the same measurement as angle F right here that we had. I'm going to say C down here is the same as that right there, and D, this part right in here, because it said BCD, this angle right here is the same as right up in there. So nobody's been turned or anything. It's pretty straightforward. This side will correspond here, this side corresponds there, and that corresponds there. Now let's fill in some measurements. It says CD, C to D, that length is 12. F to D, this length here, F to D, that is 5. FE is 4. DE is 8. And then it says, what's the perimeter of BCD? Well, I know that since the two triangles are similar, that basically their side ratios will be the same as their perimeter ratios. So I'm going to look at this and I want to say, hey, this guy, what side do I have here? I have 12. Which side does 12 correspond to? In this case, 12 corresponds to the 8. So I know 12 corresponds to the 8, just as this guy's perimeter, which I'm trying to figure out, corresponds to this guy's perimeter. This guy's perimeter is 5, 4, and 8. That's 17. Okay? So I now have it, and all I got to do is do the means extremes, or the cross product, and solve for P. And I'll have the perimeter of BCD. Now, doing this, I know that, I might have a little trouble here. Now, we could just grab the calculators and do 8P equals 12 times 17 and get our answer. But what I might want to do is I might say, hey, I don't have a calculator on me. This is a little difficult. Maybe I want to simplify this 12 eighths before I do any multiplication. I know they both can be divided by 4, which makes this 3 over 2 equaling perimeter of that one guy over 17. Now it's a little easier to do. 2P, 17 times 3 is 51, I believe in my head, it should be 51. I'd now divide by 2, divide by 2. Well, I know 50 divided by 2 is 25, so it's going to go in there 25 times with 1 left over. So the perimeter of that guy is 25 and a half. Now you would have gotten the same thing here had you done 8P equals 17 times 12, 170, 182, 194, and then divided by 8, you would have gotten the same answer here. Actually, I've messed up on the multiplication there, obviously, because 17, it's 2 things is 17. My fault. I did 170 times, let me show you what I did. Not that you probably care, but I was trying in my head to think of 12 as 10 and 2. So I know 17 times 10 is 170. 17 times 2, 34. So I should have written 204 and then divided by 8 and gotten that 25 and a half. A little mess up there. Sorry about that. But again, just trying to show you ways of thinking about numbers, way of simplifying things in case you don't have your calculator. But you see, I didn't have a calculator here. I just had to rethink things and double check my mind thinking. So there we have the perimeter of this triangle here, BCD, happens to be 25 and a half.